This vid gonna make you go SS3. Pipergate, a YouTube rabbit hole. Let's get it, y'all. Disclaimer, the following video may be disturbing for some viewers and mentions CP, grooming, CA, and SH. Off the rip. Hope you feel better, Juke. Appreciate you, Whack-a-pole, bro. I really appreciate that. Flashing lights and images shown.
Is everybody having a good time tonight? This is
Nick Crowley presents Who is Piper Rocks? Let's get immersed, chat.
Extremely disturbing and bizarre channel. Notice the end of the videos. It's sick. Also the comments. I think it's huge.
Why are they moving
this
like
was posted
that?
to Reddit back in December of 2020, along with a link to a channel known as Piper Rocks, a page seemingly run by a young girl who used the account to showcase her video editing skills.
Okay.
It was a premise that admittedly sounded both innocent and mundane, only there was something strange about the child who went by Piper. Her edits were bizarre, violent, and most of all, highly perverted. Despite Piper being just a kid, it didn't take a trained eye to notice that something appeared very wrong with this account and its owner.
And
But
that
just how wrong it really was is something that maybe I wasn't prepared to discover, because the Piper Rocks channel was really just a scratch on the surface of a decades-old internet mystery and the beginning of a rabbit hole that takes us deeper than we've ever gone before. Before we dive into this, I want to first thank today's sponsor.
Oh,
Hunt the Killer.
sponsor. Okay, let's just do this real quick. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's just do that.
The original Reddit post didn't offer.
All right, I'm finna listen to my music, finish up my shower, and I'll be back later. See you then. You were in the shower and opened my stream. All right, bro. I'll see you soon.
For much in the way of context to this mysterious channel, but in the comments beneath it, a user would share that they had found a similar account that was associated with Piper Rocks, as it featured the same distinct style of editing, along with the pages literally linking to each other. The second channel was called Isabel Piper, and in the year 2018, the young girl would post interchangeably.
What happened to the Jesse Namanja poll? According to Nux Ducks, we already reacted to that. So I'm definitely going to find the stream bot for that and upload that, because I didn't know I reacted to that already.
Across both accounts, and she did so at a very consistent rate until 2019, when she would abandon the two pages. Not much was known about the supposed girl running the channel,
Okay.
but throughout her uploads she would sprinkle in minor details about herself. At one
Is that a
point
Last of Us
saying,
demon?
"Please sub, I'm 10 years old and I make special effects." Something she was very adamant about across her page, as she was never trying to hide the fact that she was just a kid, essentially using the page to practice with her video editing, which would usually be something that's far from noteworthy, had it not been for the actual contents of her videos.
my channel. I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up for more awesome videos just like this.
What was that? What is that? What are they doing to her? What am I watching right now? Dude, get off my screen, bro.
The videos unfold in a meme-like format, with clips being thrown together in jarring and odd ways, and with each video bearing little similarity to the next. That is, minus the appearance of Piper herself, as well as a constant and disturbing air of sexualization. Some videos showcase crude humor.
So, from what I'm thinking right now, some weirdo made this page and is basically sexualizing a minor that is literally who looks to be 9. Bro, this is freaking
that you would
crazy,
expect from a fully grown adult, and others feature much more disturbing edits.
bro. Like what?
It was strange to say the
What?
least, but to solidify the feeling that something was in fact very wrong with this channel, one could simply look at the outro that she had adopted not long after starting her uploads. It's something that I'm choosing not to show you, and something that I don't suggest you seek out either, as essentially it's a revealing upward shot of a young girl wearing a small skirt.
And
Though
I
it
don't
doesn't
want to
quite
see
qualify
that.
as
Thank
CP,
you.
the
Thank you so much for not showing me, bro, because I don't want to see that stupid joke.
young girl wearing a
Yo, hold up. I gotta go to Mars. I'll open up your stream. Yo, hold up. I gotta go to Mars. I'll open your stream up again when I'm there.
small skirt. And though it doesn't quite qualify as CP, the suggestiveness of it is undeniable, as clearly it was meant to be sexual. And that is
That's
exactly
so
how
disgusting.
Piper's audience would perceive it.
That's so disgusting. Bro.
Commenters would say things like, I love you, what's your Snapchat? LOL, you did it. You need some more booty shaking, but it was...
About a little child. About a little girl. Dude. You're so lame that you are a grown man hitting on a little child, bro. How do you get to that level of accepting the fact that you're a grown man hitting on a young child? How do you come to that point in life? I don't understand. You literally have to be sick and demented in the head to actually look at a little girl as a grown man and go, yeah, I want that. I desire that. What, bro? Yo, I'm about to get mad. Real talk.
Feel good. And estoy enamorado, contactimonos, which although I definitely butchered, translates to I'm in love, let's get in touch. And it's this comment
To
that
a
to
little
me
girl, by the
proved
way.
to be the most concerning, as Piper would actually
girl.
respond by saying, thank you for watching, how old are you? To which the man simply says, 19, and you? Piper then says, I am 11, leading to the conversation's end, with the commenter stating, en el amor no hay edad, or, in love, there is no age.
Yeah. Go say that to a police officer, buddy. They're gonna lock you right up, you idiot. Talking about some in love, there is no age. Alright. Bro, if I raise my child up and I find out that he's 19, talking to a little 11-year-old girl in a sexual way, I'm beating you up. And you're not my son no more, because there's no freaking way. Like, if you like minors, I don't like you, bro. If you like minors, I don't like you, bro. You're weird, bro. There's no way you look at a minor and go, ooh, yeah, I want it. Like, no. Like, what the heck?
The comments were few and far between on both of Piper's channels, though nearly every single one was flirtatious, despite Piper being 10 years old at the time of
freaking
making
11.
the account. Whether she
You
knew
serious?
it or not, this little girl was making content catered to some of the worst people that this planet has to offer.
What do you
And It's
mean?
likely that she had no idea she was doing so. I mean, how could she? She was just a kid, right? Understandably,
what do you mean?
people began to wonder
Is she
who
not a
this
kid or
girl
something?
actually was, along with what her story is. As if she genuinely was just a kid, then being in contact with people like this would clearly be a danger to her.
Disgusting,
But it didn't take
bro.
long for the cracks to start emerging. For starters, across Piper's videos, it's blatantly obvious that different girls are shown in many uploads, sometimes famous actresses, often from clips taken from The Amanda Show, as well as Lazy Town, while others are of child YouTube stars, typically taken from their older uploads when they were at their youngest. And most strangely of all, Piper used a similar picture across the Isabel Piper and Piper Rocks account, with this girl being shown in a good chunk of uploads, and Piper herself claims that this is in fact her. This is Piper, though in reality it appears to be yet another child.
What is that thing?
And one who looks nothing like other videos that Piper also claimed to be of her. It didn't add up, as not only did these girls clearly differ from each video, but most of these girls were easily identifiable as other people clearly not named Piper. The hole in these channels were undeniable. Piper could not have been who she claimed to be. But that didn't prove anything, as maybe Piper was
Let me guess. It's a grown man. That's all I'm guessing.
just pretending to be these young girls and using the clips just to practice her editing or even fantasizing of being famous. However, any hope of that being a possibility seemed to end on March 25th, 2018, when she would upload the video "In the Woods Editing My Video," which was the first time that Piper would reveal her voice.
Hi guys. Well, I was editing some of my videos and I forgot.
Dude, let's be so for real. My God. What is that voice? What is that voice? Do you hear that?
Guys. Well, I was editing some of my
Don't no little girls sound like that. Nigga, that is fabricated. That is fake. Bro got a voice changer on.
videos.
What type of... What is this?
Camera on, so thought I'd upload it and show you guys. Hope you like it. See you
Well,
later, baby.
What the... I am not your baby. Whatever grown man has a voice changer on and is making this so weird and awkward, I am not your baby. Boy. Heck no, bro.
Piper's
That
voice
jumped off my
was
screen.
an obvious fake. It
Right.
was clearly just someone making their voice sound higher.
A
and
grown
then pitching
man.
it up in post-production.
A grown
It
man.
sounded completely unnatural and nothing like what you would expect from a 10-year-old girl. In fact, just pitching down the voiceover exactly 2 notches makes it sound much more realistic.
Well, I was editing some of my videos and I forgot and left the camera on.
And you can start to tell that it's seemingly a more mature and masculine sounding voice.
I knew
Clearly
it.
of
I
someone
freaking knew
attempting
it.
to sound childish
Freaking knew
and
it.
like a little girl. Between the lies told about who she actually was and the jarring fake voiceovers, which would end up being used multiple times,
I thought you were the Candyman.
it left many questions, but one resounding truth. That Piper was not who she claimed to be.
Obviously.
And in all likelihood, she wasn't even a child. So essentially,
Not
what
at
we
all.
have here is a person making hypersexual edits from clips of girls no older than 12 years old, while pretending to be a young girl themselves. All the while, creeps are flocking to the channel to hit on this person who they believe is a kid. The whole thing is a confusing mess of darkness that leaves no clear answers as to what is actually happening here. It was initially theorized that this could be some kind of catfish scam, potentially made so that the owner of the account could solicit relations with the people watching these
That's so
videos,
freaking weird.
believing that this person was in fact a little girl. Or perhaps even more likely, these pages were set up to catch predators in the act, using these channels as their in to expose.
But bro, no, I'm pretty sure nobody will go as far as to make a channel about a little girl and fake a voice and post these weird, nasty videos just to catch predators. I don't think anybody is going that far, bro.
Those actively
We all sliming these people, right? Anybody who commented underneath that page, them flirtatious messages to 11-year-olds, or what you thought was an 11-year-old, you need to be slapped in your mouth. You don't deserve to have a house. You don't deserve to have a family. You don't deserve to have a life, buddy, in GTA 6, bro. Like, come on, bro. There's no way, bro.
pursuing relations with minors,
Like, why would
which
you-
was honestly what I hoped this was all about.
How you wake up as a
It
grown
seemed
man
like
and
the best
pursue a
case
relationship
scenario,
with a minor, bro?
but
You're
with
weird.
no leads and no mention of the channels across the web, it was really anyone's guess. However, upon finding the channel back in December, another mysterious set of channels had been gaining traction in the early months of 2021, and much to my surprise, the channels looked a lot like Piper's. In
What?
total,
There's
as many
more?
as 6 to 8 other channels were found, posting the same style of content, with the main ones being Piper Bynes, along with Christina Black and Nicole W., each of which featured the same distinctly crude
Why
style
do they
of
have
editing and
subscribers?
sexual content. And from the eye test alone, these channels were clearly related in some way to Isabel Piper and Piper Rocks,
Yo, I'm
as
at a
they
loss for
featured
words,
practically
bro.
identical videos
I'm at a
and
loss for
subject
words.
matter, with the Piper Bynes channel having been active as recently as 3 months ago, while the Nicole W channel was active as far back as 10 years ago, further adding proof that Piper could not have been a child, as the whole
So a creep has been doing this his entire adult life.
timeline of this
That's what I
rabbit
pick up
hole
from
is
that.
older than a decade and is still active as of 2021. So in all likelihood, she could not have been 10 years old just a few years ago,
Obviously.
as she claimed. To me, this longevity totally removes any thoughts of this being some kind of ARG, and it also casts doubt on the page having been made to catch predators, as typically those operations wouldn't stretch out as long as this one had.
Yeah,
Plus,
duh.
I don't think this would really be the most effective way to do so to begin with. But if it all was real, if someone really was just making this content, then its true purpose must be something of great concern. A concern that had been felt far before me. Though I first became aware of this mystery back in December of this year, in reality, it had been investigated nearly since its inception, making the rounds across Spanish YouTube, as well as being posted to various forum sites here and there, with many concerned about its deeper meaning.
Yeah, this
And
is
out
a
of all the
creepy
sites
video.
that would host discussions about this ring of channels, the one that would take it most seriously would wind up being 4chan. There, interest would grow so large that a group would be set up solely for the purpose of investigating the matter in what they dubbed as Pipergate, with their research being cultivated into a 33-page report published back in August of 2020, where the true identity of Piper would be revealed.
What is that?
In the report, the investigators would outline how they found the email associated with the Piper Bynes YouTube channel,
You're
along
caught.
with a few other
You're caught.
accounts under the same name on both Twitter and Facebook, both of which having since been deleted. The group would then perform a reverse search on the email, leading them to a man named William Glenn Whitaker, who...
How old is this dude, bro? How old is this nigga, bro? How old is he, bro? Watch this dude be 40 making videos about little girls, bro. You're weird.
with some more digging, was found to have a plethora of other emails, with those being directly affiliated to the Nicole W. and Christina Black channels, along with the Isabel Piper and Piper Rocks channels as well, the channels where I began to fall down this rabbit hole. Our suspicions were correct. These pages were not run by a 10-year-old girl. They were not run by Piper, and instead they were run by William Whitaker, a 65-year-old
65? This nigga is 65. Oh, it's normal now? Good. 65.
man. He was behind these sexualized videos. He was the one taking
Weirdo.
clips from little girls' YouTube channels and using them for his disturbing edits. And
Oh my
pretending to be
gosh,
them.
bro.
And somehow it only gets worse from here. as
Worse?
William wasn't
How could it
just your
possibly get
typical
worse?
Old man
How could it possibly
making
get worse,
memes
bro?
on the internet for fun. In fact,
How?
he was a felon, having been arrested back in 2002 after being caught with CP. William Glenn Whitaker was a registered sex offender, and he still is to this day. But the story doesn't end there, as this wouldn't be the end of William's legal troubles. Upon his release,
The story
in
doesn't
Tampa
end there.
area,
Are you serious?
William would stay local and pick up a new line of work as he started his own talent agency that went by the name of Wizard Productions Modeling Agency.
What, bro?
With his specialization being in child star.
Let me get this straight. Right? You let a registered sex offender, a felon that literally got caught with CP, you let that man make a production company dealing with little children. You let that happen. Is this real? Like, I don't believe this. There's no way this is like, what? What? You serious right now? Bro, you let a registered sex offender who got caught with CP make a production company specializing with child stars. What is going on?
He would lure in families with the promise of stardom and connections to the music industry, something that would both excite parents and children alike. With this, he would then bring the children to his home and record them singing and dancing, with the promise that the tapes would then be sent to higher-ups in the music industry.
The darkest thought of all time just came to my mind. When he said that he was taking them home, I thought he was about to say that he was taking those children home, and man, you can already finish my sentence. I just don't want to say it, bro.
But in reality, William had no connections. All he was a sex offender, and given his status, the business was completely unlicensed.
I can't say that on YouTube. Well, I'm gonna have to censor out me saying the word, I guess. What? I didn't know you couldn't say that.
Scam, and was 100% illegal. He had set the whole thing up to obtain these tapes. What he did with those recordings is something that is still unknown to this day, though it has been theorized that he likely used them for his own personal use, as well as potentially having sold them to other people in the area, as well as across the web. An idea that seemed to have been insinuated in the news report.
Weirdo, bro.
The lies would eventually catch up to William in 2005, as the police busted the operation and forced him to close his doors on Wizard Productions. Though, oddly enough, it never seemed like he was given any jail time for this, and it seemed his only...
He wasn't given any jail time. Oh my, bro. This just gets crazier and crazier.
The real legal repercussion was having to close the business, despite his literal history with CP. Because of this, William was released to the public, having been practically unheard of since. Well, that would be until he'd make his start on YouTube, with the bizarre set of channels that we know today. The report was scathing, and most importantly, accurate, as I performed a background search on William myself, and the emails matched exactly. I mean, one of his was literally called Piper Rocks Hard, clearly in reference to the account he had made. With that in mind, perhaps the most worrying part of these channels is the fact that many of the girls that William has been showcasing most recently are YouTubers, most of which with minimal subscribers, and the vast majority, if not all of them, have their channels centered around music, with them all appearing to have dreams of making it big in the industry. Which is worrisome, as this just so happens to be the same industry that William had preyed on before. Plus, to make the whole situation that much worse, a decent amount of William's videos have made it onto YouTube Kids, literally putting William in front of both predators and children alike. But even after all this, and through all the twists and turns, there is still one glaring question. Why? Why was
Literally,
William doing
why?
this? What was he gaining from making these videos? That, for now, is the question that has yet to have a definite answer. In the 4chan report, it was theorized that this whole thing was a front for
Gosh.
distributing CP, something that, given William's history, is definitely possible. The investigators claim that this was done
ew.
using a series of links posted within the description of the channel's uploads, while using the comment section to initiate the transaction,
Also, stream acting up again as normal now. Okay, good.
which the predators would be invited into a mega chat room dedicated to sharing CP. And that was just half the operation. The rest would take place on Twitter, where William too had fake Piper accounts, only these ones were far more suggestive than any of his videos. On these accounts, commenters would flock to leave their flirtatious messages behind, a few of whom the 4chan report had proven to be predators. Because of this, it was again theorized that CP was somehow being distributed throughout these social media outlets, as both clearly housed numerous creeps.
Oh my
But
freaking
for me,
gosh.
this is far from a solidified conclusion, as the links supposedly used in the description of the video are no longer there, potentially having been removed after the report was released. Though despite this, William continued posting his usual content for nearly a year after, without the use of this apparent elaborate system, which does cast doubt on this theory, as what would his incentive be to keep posting? And unfortunately, no tangible proof was offered showing any one of these alleged chat rooms. And along with this, the Twitter accounts that William used are long gone, having been suspended around the time of the report. But through the screenshots that are shown, it honestly just seems like a bunch of predators trying to hit on a child, with the investigators themselves stating that they're not sure how this system works. And with the accounts now gone, at the moment it's unfortunately impossible to verify its true purpose. For those reasons, it's a theory that I can't fully buy into.
That makes me
And not
so
to mention the
sick.
unfortunate truth that there are much easier and far less obvious ways of sharing CP. And though it's horrible to think about, it's no secret that CP is easier than ever to both send and receive through countless means across the web.
Disgusting.
But at the moment, I'm also struggling to buy this theory, for the reason that despite the whole cover being supposedly blown, and the system on YouTube being quote-unquote figured out, William just kept making these videos. He never missed a beat. And with that system of links being no longer used, at least as of this year, well, that points to the idea that William isn't doing this for other people, but rather he's doing it for himself. That makes me wonder if perhaps this is all just a kink for him. A disgusting, sickening, vile...
Shut up. Nasty, disgusting, bro. Just
fetish,
continue,
where he
bro.
gets off to pretending to be a little girl, almost like a twisted form of roleplay.
That's
Or maybe
freaking
he just
disgusting.
likes the thought of a little girl acting this way, the way that he'd most likely want them to act towards him.
I'm finna throw up.
It's also been proposed that there could be a grooming scheme involved, potentially with the content being made to draw in both predators and children alike, which it has done a good job of doing so. But there is yet to be any actual evidence of this, and though it may seem plausible, there is at the moment nothing substantial to back it up. The truth is that we don't know what compelled William to make these channels and start posting this concerning content over 10 years ago. His motives are to this day a mystery. And it's a mystery that might just last forever, as William
I don't want to know
has
his
taken
motives,
it to his
bro.
grave. According to the offender
the
registry
sicko is
site
dead.
in Mississippi, the state where he has lived in now for years, William Glenn Whitaker has passed away, with it likely having happened in just the last 3 months.
Look, this is gonna seem crazy, but they ain't give him no jail time, so I'm glad bro dead. Yep, I said it. They ain't give bro no jail time, so now he's rotting in hell. I'm glad he dead. Let me repent. That was crazy. Amen. But look, bro.
Something that is backed by the
I'm glad that weirdo is off this earth. That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
fact that he hasn't uploaded since March of 2021. The registry doesn't say what happened or how, but what is certain is that William is gone, and thankfully he is never coming back. The Piper channels were concerning from the jump, and made even more worrisome given the revelation of who created them.
This is so
William
weird.
and his channel should have never had a place on YouTube, especially not kids' YouTube. Yet William went practically unchecked. And it's strange because we may never know the true danger that these channels posed,
Ooh.
if they posed any at all. But it's still a disturbing situation nonetheless. And it's at least a relief that these channels will now lie abandoned until their inevitable removal. But in terms of the whole scope of this investigation, I would say that it's far from over, as there are other players discussed in the 4chan reports, along with the whole Twitter side of this, that I will cover at a later date. And hopefully, with some more digging, we can finally determine once and for all what William's true intentions were. But until then, Pipergate will remain one of YouTube's strangest rabbit holes.
Oh
Big
my
thank you to my
gosh,
gold tier
bro.
patrons and my god tier patrons, Ali Farmer, Bazoo40.
Yo, that was a crazy freaking video, bro. That was wild. I'm gonna need some time to like relax after seeing something crazy like that, bro.